Hello everybody and welcome to another Beyond All Reason video. Today we are on the map Incandescence Remake. It's a bit of a odd choice for our 1v1 as it's normally played in a small team game. But today we have someone we've seen on the channel before fairly recently. TheRxyy. They played in a game on the channel versus Yanami where they did really well and just unfortunate that they could not pay off in the end. So let's see how they do in this match. And versus them today is Mr. BarcastTV going Armada today and also playing as Bot Lab. Now, as we zoom on out on this map, there are a few spawns different. Obviously, you can see lava around the edge, so don't go there. But there's a couple of spawns. We've got mostly 2 metal point spawns up here. It's quite often known as, well, quite heavily a lane map with the player in the front focusing down these chains, guy on the side going around the bottom, and then where Barcast spawns goes around the top. It's quite a difficult map, especially if you're up here, because this is a lot of uphill, and if you lose this top path and your base is here, it's very difficult to pull it back because you've got to fight uphill. And if your opponent has like thugs or maces at the top of that hill, it's basically a death sentence for you. So very difficult map. This top lane as well is basically independent from the rest of the game because of the fact that it can't get any help from anyone else. Whereas obviously the rest of the map down here can be, both lanes can assist each other. Now, start positions. We have some very good early harass from Barcast, managing to get a metal point that was being constructed. Unfortunately, that's all it manages to get. And him just now positioning scouts in areas to indicate a push of some type. It looks like he will get another metal extractor, though. Commander in a decent enough position there to keep it alive and not having to worry about it. Rixie's position here, pretty decent-ish position. He has very strong like paths to travel. It does kind of make this spot at the back a bit exposed because of the fact that he is not gonna have direct access to it. That construction bot will actually die. Well played there by Rixiey, getting a construction bot of Barcasts this early on. And this also gives Rixiey very strong presence in this bottom half of the map. His up side of the map is a bit of more difficult. Barcast is definitely going to have an advantage pushing along the top. And if Barcast is able to hold in that spot that we mentioned before, it's going to be hard for Rixiey to get out of that. Now, saying that, obviously, Barcast is playing as Armada today, and Rixiey is playing as Cortex. This does obviously give some implications when it comes to early game bots. And Barcast currently struggling when it comes to energy as well. Not doing too well on that front. This map's very difficult for a 1v1. There's so much kind of like angles that someone can come from, as we just saw. This Grunt's got round the back there, and now it's going to get that construction bot again, and also on the top here, as this LLT is desperately trying to get built in time. The thing is, more this, he doesn't want to really lose the res bot. It'd be better to lose the construction bot. Well, he manages to keep it off, but Barcast could really do with a radar down that front bit. This is also a bit of a dangerous push here. Pawns technically will do better at close range if they can get close enough. He's doing a great job of microing these units at the top, though. Basically, in all angles, Barcast is kind of in a bit of a problem here. Bit of a mistake up here, though, is this... Ooh, almost managed to get that LLT with 91 health left. But advantage at the moment, Rixiey. However, all of these amazing raids that Rixie's been performing, and yet his expansion is not doing well at all. He is barely pushed out of his base. Because as you can see here, obviously Barcast started here, but Barcast is pushed up to this line. But he's also pushed down to here. So that's a big chunk. Whereas TheRxyy is only just there. And he doesn't even have the back mexes. He's only just getting them now. So we can see Reclaim being gotten by TheRxyy at the moment. But once that Reclaim's gone, you can see Barcast 11% in the lead. Another Metal Extractor now being finished, putting up to 20%. But look at all of these grunts about to come barreling into an LLT that's only got 100 health. That is going to die very quickly. What is Barcast doing? Oh, that's what Barcast is doing. He's gone for a Centurion. I don't think this one Centurion is quite going to cut it, though. As it gets surrounded, Barcast trying to heal it up with a construction bot, but it was not enough damage. Not enough healing, rather, to deal with that damage. And this is a great push through by TheRxyy. And now another dangerous move here. Luckily enough, another Centurion manages to get out in time. But this is a lot of metal to be left here. And if TheRxyy can secure it this close to an opponent's base, that will be a very, very good thing for him. 644 metal directly outside of Barcast's base. And he's struggling to get control of everything. This would be a perfect opportunity for Barcast to build armed Metal Extractors if he could, but he can't because he's Armada. This is one thing that these grunts are going to have as an advantage here, is how quick they are. And on this sort of terrain, the transition over to vehicles would be death. Now, if Barcast did build a vehicle lab here, though, now that's a completely different story. But getting up this hill when you've transitioned is a death sentence. It's one resurrected grunt, though, doing a lot of work. He will not be able to kill that construction bot, though, before reinforcements arrive. Which will just end up getting rebuilt. So that will just be some micro attacks there, unfortunately. But Barcast doing a great job of pushing forward. He's actually really, really close to his opponent's base here. And that is a bit dangerous. We also see TheRxyy transitioning over to a vehicle lab here to contest the bottom area. This is a good move, but it is meaning that he is going to basically give up this northern side. Centurion again getting surrounded, only able to take out 3 grunts before it dies. And Barcast really struggling right now to be able to, like, defend every angle. TheRxyy's probing amazingly well here, just finding every hole available and just absolutely destroying Barcast. And when we look at the stats here, Barcast was in the lead. He is now starting to lose that lead consistently. Barcast able to maintain pressure on the top now, though, now that these Centurions have come out. And due to the transition over to vehicles, it's going to be a little bit harder for TheRxyy to contest this top hill. And we'll see the significant speed difference here as these sizes try to go up the hill. It's still not too bad, but if he transitions over to full-blown tanks, that's where the problem's going to exist. Barcast is just slowly trying to build like a wall along the map of LLTs here. This is the most important thing, is this fight for this hill. Barcast can maintain control of this hill here. That's a big, big win. These Centurions that have been resurrected will do a good job. I would probably maybe think he should maybe regroup his forces a little bit here. He has no vision, so he doesn't quite know there are more forces down there. Now he does, he's backing off a little bit. But you could just see all of these spots where like a single grunt is just come in and is just taking out Metal Extractors left and right. Barcast is trying to reciprocate here. But once these armed metal extractors go up, it's going to be a bit difficult for him to do that. And actually, the pawn gets eaten instead. Barcast needs to be careful, though. His commander with no units at all. He is in a very dangerous position. He's also actually built vehicles himself, and you can see just the speed of them getting up this hill. They're like absolutely slogging to try and get up. And Barcast actually gets pushed out of this middle section here. But Barcast making it very, very close to his opponent's base right now. This is very dangerous for TheRxyy. Pounders will do an amazing job at dealing with bots, especially the pawns. But TheRxyy can't really let units go past that line, otherwise he's going to struggle. Not only that, but you know, you can position artillery or something up on this hill, and it's going to cause TheRxyy a big, big problem. Barcast able to do a pretty good job on the mini-map here of contending this left flank here. And that will kind of put a bit of a problem for TheRxyy here, because obviously units can come in from any angle and try and contest, which is what we're seeing right now as these units go straight into that exploiter. Take that out fairly quickly, and the construction bot along with it. That only leaves TheRxyy with a single one there. These pounders don't really want to be moving up and down the hill. They're very slow to begin with, and you can see just how much they get left behind as all of the other fast units run straight past. Oh, this is a mistake with Barcast, though. Definitely losing that construction bot. Pounders focusing mostly on the Centurions at the moment, which Barcast would be quite happy to have that happen. But the fight ends up actually going to TheRxyy here. The Pounders just doing such an amazing job with the splash damage that absolutely annihilates Barcast's army. Barcast attempting here to apply pressure in a different location in order to force his opponent to send units there instead. And we can see that the full-blown tanks here causing a bit of problems. TheRxyy's commander taking damage up to 80% health, but a single D gun there managing to take out about 5 or 6 different units in one go. The construction bots. Construction aircraft actually just going for air reclaim on everything, which is, you know, an actually pretty smart move here. Also, we briefly saw bombers being prepared now by TheRxyy here, as he desperately runs to get a fighter out to stop that reclaim happening. Prioritizing killing the gunships though first over killing the construction bot. And Barcast doing a very good job applying pressure evenly now across the map. And hello. And we can see that it is kind of advantage Barcast. But economy stats, if you look at the economy stats, they are very heavily in TheRxyy's favor. So, economy advantage TheRxyy, but map control is definitely more in Barcast's favor at this point in time. That can change very quickly, as it looks like Barcast is about to sack a construction bot purely to try and get 700 metal of reclaim. And a res bot. Both players building a decent chunk of air now. It might be a bit difficult for the bombers of TheRxyy to actually get in anywhere now that he's given away that he has air. Gunships, though, will do a fairly decent job at picking off like these side maxes. More ones that don't actually be armed, although the fighters are now swooping in. They will manage to get that single metal extractor. Will cause some problems for TheRxyy. But here is where it's going to be a bit of an advantage, a disadvantage, going up this hill with the standard brutes. Going to take a while for those tanks to get up there, especially if they've got to walk into Janice's. You don't want to be giving Janice's more time, and being up on the high ground is going to be a massive advantage for kiting, at least for Barcast. Janice is a very, very strong unit. Tracking rockets do a tremendous job at dealing with clumped up enemies. Barcast actually managing to get pretty close to TheRxy's base right now. These units not really being controlled at all. Barcast just quickly applied an order there. Just kind of probing to see what damage he could get dealt. Unfortunately, does nothing to the base. You know, TheRxyy does a little bit of probing on his own on this left side. But again, nothing to speak of. Barcast commander is still in a bit of a dangerous spot here. He's trying to get reclaimed, get some LLTs up. But there are no units anywhere near him. And here comes a big fight. You see the Janice rockets go off, absolutely annihilate Brute. But those Janices got too close and get shut down pretty quickly. The impulse damage from the Pounders doing a great job at just keeping things pushed up against that wall. And they were just unable to run away. Some bad micro there from Barcast as he pulls his Janice into range. And ends up getting it killed. Being fighting down the hill as he can get down the hill very quickly. But getting back up is a big problem. Not only that, and now look at how much metal has been deposited there now. 3.2k of metal. Barcast trying to be sneaky here with a air. Guy just coming in trying to get some of that reclaim. Be surprised to see how much of that he actually gets. All the planes are currently over here. TheRxyy trying to use his commander to catch these guys. Meanwhile, TheRxy's actually transitioned over to Tech 2. We're kind of seeing it in the middle start forming up there, but we're kind of keeping an eye on this force here just to be sure that the commander doesn't get caught out, which it doesn't. Yes, Tech 2 bot lab. That's going to start causing some problems for Barcast. He's going to have to transition himself soon. The bombers have made 0 impact yet. And finally, this construction aircraft gets taken out. It got quite a lot before it did die. Barcast, no transition yet. And the tanks of Barcast get destroyed by Sheldons and there's one sumo. Barcast not currently paying attention to them at all. He's trying to get some damage with these tanks that got through. At this point, it's probably worth just self-destructing what's left. So you're not giving the enemy metal. Bit too late, though, unfortunately. Seems Barcast is trying to apply as much pressure to the bottom as possible. I mean, sorry, at the top. That is 2 very different locations. With the idea that if his opponent's Sheldons is fighting up a hill, they're not going to be as effective. And would give advantage to Barcast, but it seems that TheRxy's not playing into that game, and he's going to push through the middle himself. Barcast commander now in an even more tenuous position, as he has to fall back, otherwise he's going to get destroyed by those Sheldons. And it just seems Barcast constantly donating metal at the moment. He desperately needs to transition to Tech 2. He has just done that himself, but it's going to take a little while before we start seeing units on the field. The Barcast commander has managed to fall back a little bit, but not really far enough. As we select TheRxyy here and see what he can see, he doesn't know the commander's there. He sees units moving. He may just think they're actual units. But it's still turning out very much to be TheRxy's favor, especially when we look at the economy stats. I mean, we do know that TheRxyy has transitioned over to tier 2 first. He's got more Tech 2 economy up at the moment. Barcast needs to be careful here as he's presenting himself, and Barcast actually calling the GG there. This Sheldon ball would have been, I say ball, there's like 5 of them, would have been probably seconds away there from killing the commander. Barcast had nothing he can do. And TheRxyy improved a lot since we last saw him. Very well played, TheRxyy. Constantly harassing in all different locations. And yeah, definitely dictated the game there. Well played. Thank you all for watching. And I'll see you guys next time.